Tell me everything I need to know about the App Store. Hello and welcome to iPhone Black and White, video series dedicated to help anybody become an iPhone expert, even you. Okay, in this video we are going to go over the App Store. Absolutely everything that you need to know about using your Apple ID in the App Store, how to find apps, download. We are just going to look at absolutely everything that you need to know. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, so the very first thing that we need to look at when you're talking about the App Store is to make sure that you're using the Apple ID that you are aware of. Odds are you're already using an ID, and it should be the ID that you're using in the iCloud. In rare occasions, and I say rare and I mean this, it is occasionally going to be for people to use a different ID in the App Store. Odds are that's a really bad idea, and I'll give an example at the end of things you should not do in regards to this. So let's go ahead and just jump right into our first video here. So we're going to go into settings, and we're going to click on our name up here at the top. We can see a fake ID at iCloud.com at the very top. But what we're going to do is click on where it says Media and Purchases. And this is basically your settings for the App Store. Now when you click on this, you want to click on View Account. And then it's going to ask us to sign in. You're going to put in your Apple ID password. And this would be the password that you're using for... This is basically the iCloud password that you're using for your ID. Now you can see up there at the top it says a fake ID at iCloud.com. So I am using the same ID for the iCloud as well as for the App Store here. So hope that makes sense. Like I said, we'll cover more of this in a minute. Now you can change your country and region. It's a really bad idea to do this unless you're actually traveling overseas. So don't worry about that. We're going to look at this a little bit further too. This is your manage your payments, and we'll cover this more in a second. There's also the option here to add money to your account, and again, we'll cover that more here in a moment. And that is pretty much going to be it for kind of your settings inside here. The main thing is really your Apple ID and see which one you're working, but you also have the ability to click on purchase history. So I had downloaded a game just to kind of for this purpose so we could see it, and your purchase history is going to show you everything that you've downloaded like for the last 90 days, and then you can select your range and go back and kind of see, you know, everything that you've bought. So if you've got some kind of a charge that you're unaware of, you know, you can go in there and see, you know, what it is. Hidden purchases, rarely would anybody ever really need to click on that. Most of you are never hiding your purchases. And that is pretty much it for the settings there. Alright, before we move on, I want to mention something real quick because we just looked at purchase history. Now I've already put up a video about scams, but there are times when people will get like a scam email, but it looks legit, and it will say something along the lines of, hey, this is to confirm that you purchased, you know, whatever, you know, on such and such a day for this amount of money. And the idea behind getting an email is like that is you're going to freak out and like, oh, well, it says click here to dispute the charges. Okay, if you get anything like that, don't click on it. What you do is you go to the screen that we were just on. So go into your settings, click on your name, click on Media and Purchases, click View Account, put in your password, scroll down and click on Purchase History, and you can go back and actually see did you buy something, or did somebody use your phone to buy something? Because if it's your ID and it says that you bought something, then it has to show up there in your purchase history. If it doesn't, then that means, yeah, that was a total scam email, just ignore it. So I just wanted to go ahead and mention that real quick. Okay, so the next thing to look at is you do need to have an address on file, but you do not need to have a credit card on file. And so we're going to look at that right now. So on our test phone here, we're going to go to settings. We're going to click on our name. And then we're going to click on payment and shipping. And you can see right there, it says payment method none. I don't have a credit card on file for this test phone here. And you can see there at the bottom, if you clicked on billing address, it would take you to the next screen and you could put in an address. Now this is a fake address. This is not real. Don't send me anything. I'm not going to get it. So LaFake Street is not real in Atlanta. At least I don't believe it is. So anyway, you've got to go ahead and put like your name, you know, your first name, your last name, and then your billing address. But that's it. You can just make it up. You do not need to put in any information. Now, Apple doesn't collect this information and sell it. So it's not like that information is getting out into the world, but that's the information that I just put onto this phone, and it still allows me to download apps. Now, there's going to be some apps that you cannot download unless you have a payment method on file, but those apps are few and far between. Mostly they just want you to make sure that you've got a billing address on file so that if you do add a credit card, you know, everything just kind of syncs up. So I just went ahead and made a fake address. You can do the same thing. But if you ever need to download an app that requires a payment method, then you are going to have to put one in there, and getting to the payment and shipping screen is how you do it. All right, I didn't mention this before. I'm going to mention it to you real quick. If this is like your first iPhone and you're just setting it up and you've created your Apple ID, there's something to remember. Just because you created your Apple ID, that is going to sync it up to the iCloud. That does not mean it's going to sync it up to the App Store. So what you do is, at the beginning of the video, I showed you, we went into the App Store, the settings there where we clicked on View Account. So you go to your Media and Purchases screen. And if you do that for the very first time, it's actually going to ask you, you know, enter your Apple ID, you know, put in your password, and then you have to agree to the terms of service. So if that screen pops up, it's no big deal. Just click agree to the terms and service. I think you have to flip it to green. And then basically that gets you signed up for the App Store using that ID. Okay, so we got some of the basics out of the way, so let's go ahead. We're gonna jump into the App Store. So you're gonna go to your home screen and then click on the App Store. It's that little icon right there. And then click on the profile picture in the top right corner. Once you do that, this is what's really gonna open up the App Store for you in particular. Now it shows our Apple ID up there at the top. And now I'm clicking on the word purchased. Now this is a great screen to go to because this screen is going to show you every single app you've ever downloaded using the ID that you're using. So if you ever have to delete something and you want to get it back, well, the easy way to do it is go into purchased, scroll down, find it, and then just download it again. But there's other screens in here. So this is also how you can redeem an iTunes gift card. So you just click on that, and then you can either use the camera or enter the code manually. Click on the profile picture again. You can even send a gift card by email. Don't send me anything. This ID will be long deleted by the time you see this. So don't send it, but that's how you would do it. We'll click on the profile again. You can even add funds to an Apple ID. Adding funds is really just a way for you to kind of keep an amount of money for you to be able to buy certain things from the App Store or a subscription without having to use a credit card. And that is pretty much it. It's also going to show you your apps, if you need to update any of them, things like that. So you can even sign out from the App Store at the bottom. I don't recommend you do that. And then that is pretty much it for the App Store, like actually getting in and clicking on the profile picture, because a lot of people don't even realize that they can get into that screen. And there's actually I just showed you, there's a bunch of things that you can actually do in there. And the key thing really is the word purchased there. It's really going to help you to go back and to find apps that you had downloaded previously. It's just a really good way in case like you ever have to, like your phone gets erased or deleted or something, you know, unforeseen happens. It's no big deal. Don't worry about your apps not being there. all you got to do, get into the App Store, click on the profile, click on the word purchased, and then boom, there's every app you've ever downloaded. Just click on the ones you want, download them again. Super, super simple. Okay, so we're going to jump back into the App Store. We're going to look at just a couple other features that are in there. So let's jump to that. All right, so we're back in the App Store. And now at the bottom of the screen, you see you've got your different things that you can click on. There's Today, there's Games, there's Apps. And these are all just different screens that you can actually go to, things that Apple will recommend, things that you can do. The main thing is click on Search. If you know exactly the app that you actually want to get to, you just click on Search, type it in, and that is pretty much it. So that's all that you need to do in order to actually search. It's just going to be in the lower right corner. And all of the other things, you know, I rarely will ever click on them. I don't ever really download the things that are recommended or whatnot, but they are there. So it is interesting if you haven't clicked on them, just to kind of see the different things that are going to show up there. It might be something that you're really interested in. So definitely worth checking out. All right, well, the last thing that I'm going to cover with you here is actually how to delete an app. And I know what you're saying to yourself. Rattlehead Blue, I don't need to know how to delete an app. I already know how to do it. Wrong. Wrong. You probably think you do, but you're wrong, and I'm going to explain to you why. So basically, everybody who's got an iPhone knows, like, oh, okay, well, all I need to do to delete an app is I just need to press down and hold down on the app on the home screen until everything starts jiggling. And then you're just going to hit the little minus button, and hey, voila, you just deleted an app. Maybe you did, but there's a chance that you actually didn't, because a lot of people don't read the fine print with some of the apps that they download, and that deleting an app that way does not mean you're actually deleting it. The main culprit in this is usually going to be VPNs, whether it's Norton or McAfee. Deleting an app that way, actually, you're not deleting it. It's actually still on the phone. It's just no longer on the home screen. So I wish there was a way to delete it and to make sure that you know how to delete it. Oh, there is, and that's what we're going to look at right now. So on our phone, we're going to go to Settings, and this is the way you want to delete every single app. So you go to Settings, scroll down, click on General, and then we're going to scroll down and click on iPhone Storage. And it'll take a second for it to kind of load here. And then we're just going to scroll down and click on the app I downloaded, Clash Royale. And then right there, Delete App. We're going to click on Delete App. It'll ask us if we want to delete it. And we want to click Delete App. And then boom, it removes it. And this is the 100% surefire way for you to delete your apps. I would honestly encourage every single person, if you ever need to delete an app, that is the way that you want to do it, because that is the 100% way to make sure that it is removed. If you just do it from the home screen, it depends on the app, it depends on the fine print. It may not have actually deleted, so do yourself a favor. If you want to make sure you're getting rid of it, then do it the way that I just showed you. Alrighty guys, that is going to do it for me in this video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Hope you learned something. And if you did, don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, come back, learn how to become an iPhone expert. And don't forget to send this video to your friends and family so that I can turn them into experts too, so that you don't have to. Alrighty guys, thank you so much. I will catch you next time. See ya.